Morning, you bunch of savages. Monday morning, a new week to get on the grind. I've got 8Ks to run this morning, but today is Q&A day. If you have any questions for next Monday's Q&A day, put them in the comments below and I will absolutely answer them next Monday. First question, I'm in the Nimbus 26s today. First question, do you have any advice for pre-race anxiety or nerves? How to calm and direct the adrenaline? There's two things that could help you, experience and preparation, okay? If you are fully prepared for a race and you know that you're going to have a great race because training's gone really good, you're gonna feel way better. You're gonna be way less anxious because there's less uncertainty on race day. Number two is experience. Doing more races and feeling that adrenaline rush, you know, is really important. Plus, if you're feeling like that, it's probably a good thing. It means that you actually care, and it means that you're going to give it a good hard crack on race day. You know, when I used to play soccer, I used to get really nervous before games, and then eventually it just kind of dropped away after a while. Once I got used to playing, you know, in front of crowds and stuff like that, it eventually just goes away. So all you have to do is just keep turning up. Now, another question was around body weight and different shoe foams and how the recommendations are kind of all over the place. Look, I actually think that if you're going on YouTube to look at shoe reviews and stuff like that, you have to take into account the reviewer themselves and how much they weigh and how much of an impact that's going to make on particular shoes, you know? Because I might find a shoe completely different feeling and it be, you know, a good shoe for me or a bad shoe for me compared to someone else, simply based on how fast they generally run in that shoe and how much they generally weigh. Different shoes, different people. You know, a stiffer foam for me might actually be a softer foam for someone who weighs 20 kilos more than me because they're getting much more sink into that foam. It all is very varied. What I would say is go find people that are similar to you, similar fitness, similar body weight, and get their recommendations and use their recommendations to buy the right pair of shoes. All right, let's go crank it out. Fuck. 8Ks, 41 minutes, 14 seconds, 5:08 per K pace, average heart rate 131. My calves are so unbelievably filled with fatigue. They're so fucking sore, man. Like, getting back into running, the first thing that I always notice is my calves are absolutely cooked all the time. Okay, next question. When are you gonna start swimming and start training for an Ironman already? Great question, and I'd love to spend more time in the week training, but I'm already so busy as it is. I will do an Ironman eventually at some point. It just calls my name. But swimming, if I want to go swim, it costs me like $10 for a swim. And I can't really go swim for free because if you go in the ocean here, the sharks eat you. So it's more of a cost and a time thing, but I'd love to get back into the swimming grind. Swimming's so fun when you get out of that newbie, can't barely stay afloat stage. It's really fun. Okay, time to get to work and make a living. Woo! Okay, next question. Let's have a look. What are the best threshold workouts to do? Great question. Here's the thing. When everyone looks at what all of the best runners in the world are doing for their threshold sessions, they tend to get them a little bit wrong. And I have done this in the past. Here's the thing. When you see Jakob Ingebrigtsen doing a threshold, what is he doing? He's doing like 10 times 1K, okay? And so everyone thinks I should do 10 times 1K as well. That makes a lot of sense, right? But he's running his 1Ks at 250 per kilometer, okay? So he's doing 10 times 2.5 minutes, which is 25 minutes worth of threshold in one session. That's pretty good. He is doubling, but if you look at the dosages of the other sessions when he's doing 4-minute reps or 5-minute reps, which are much more likely to be where normal people are for their threshold paces, he's only doing 4 or 5 reps of them to get that same 20-ish minute load throughout the session, which is really cool. So what I would say would be to follow the same schedule as him and just cycle through the different thresholdy workouts, okay? 10 times around 3 minutes is probably really good to build up to, and 4 times 5 minutes or 5 times 4 minutes is also going to be really good. I did that last week on the bike. Epic session. Okay, next question. How long are you going to do daily uploads for? I don't know. I've been going day by day and just trying to have the most amount of fun with it and not overly complicating it and not thinking too much about what I'm going to do the next day on the current day that I'm in, because that would only lead to stress, okay? The thing about this is that I'm doing this because it's fun for me. I'm not doing this to try and make my channel grow faster, because the channel has basically stayed the same in terms of growth over the last 2 months. Whether I uploaded once a week or I upload 7 times per week, it doesn't really correlate to more growth, unfortunately. There is going to be a point where I'm going to have to actually drop the daily videos, because I don't have time to do anything on Instagram, and I feel like Instagram is really important to build up if I want this clothing line that's separate to the channel to actually start to get better and, you know, grow in its organic reach. Right now I can't do that because I'm uploading every day, but like I said, uploading every day is really fun, so I'll just keep rolling with this for a while. I don't really know. Leave a dislike on the video if you want me to stop doing daily videos and just shut the fuck up for like a couple of weeks. Let me know. See you guys in 2 hours and 15 minutes. I bloody forgot my damn yoga mat, so I'm gonna have to stretch on the grass, which is probably gonna make me super itchy. Okay, the last 3 questions of the video. Question 1, what is your longest run? 32 kilometers. Question 2, hey Connor, I've been getting extremely fatigued throughout the day when training in the mornings. Man, me too. It's quite hard to train in the mornings. It's a different level of commitment and also fatigue, I find. Like sometimes I just feel a little bit cooked. Now I usually find that if I am quite tired throughout the day or feeling fatigued, it's probably because I've had a longer session in the morning, maybe on the bike, and I've just not quite fueled enough or stayed hydrated enough during or after my run. Plus, what can also happen is that if you do start doing stuff in the morning, you might also not adjust your nightly going to bed time enough to get the same amount of sleep. So make sure that you're doing that too. Stay hydrated, keep eating lots of food. Next question. How much strength training do you need during a marathon block? Well, I don't know, because I've never done a marathon block. I think I've done about 2 days of a marathon block before I got a stress fracture. So I don't actually know, but generally speaking, throughout any training block, you would probably dial back your strength training to once or maybe twice per week compared to off-season stuff, which is going to be more around 2 to 3, okay? Dial that back a little bit, and it should all be about the key specific sessions that you're doing to get yourself onto that starting line as fit as possible. You should have already built all of your strength earlier in the year or season. All right, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. I gotta go the hell back to work because today is a busy damn day. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.